Stand-up tragedy.
And the saddest thing I've ever heard about Christmas, it's actually something I saw, and it's something I saw last year. And it was an advert on the side of a bus. And this advert read, "Scratch cards make great Christmas presents."
Hey! New shit! My first ever Christmas party when I was a fresh graduate, really excited. First job in marketing, pretty Christmas party frock, head of finance was sick down my leg.
You shouldn't be here! You shouldn't be here! At first, I thought that he meant that I should have left home by now, which I had done. Or that I shouldn't be there to see him in this state, but soon realised, no, he meant that we, his 3 children, should never have been born.
Hey, new shit! You don't have to listen to my set, but if you don't, you might not get presents. That's all I'm suggesting.
The present she brought my new girlfriend, I was, 19, Jen was 18, we were but young people. She bought her some chocolate body paint and a flesh-coloured thong. Now, leaving aside the fact that a flesh-coloured thong is a problematic thing in terms of race,
when I was younger, my dad had one job, and his job was to get the Christmas tree, and every year he promised that we would have a Christmas tree, and many years we did not have a Christmas tree. What we had instead was a happy plant. At the time I was living in Sydney, and what I wanted to do was go to Melbourne, to the MCG, to the Melbourne Cricket Ground to watch this very exciting match. So what that meant was we would have to cancel Christmas with my mum and my dad. My sister and I were going to go down with our respective partners.
His parents christened him Dingo. On his passport it says Dingo, as in D-I-N-G-O. His willy is still out. There are obvious pee drips down his trousers. He does up his flies and says, "What do you want for Christmas?" But the reason I cried was because what I really wanted was a best friend.
The younger one had once, while she was still almost a baby, cried bitterly because a turkey that lived near the cottage suddenly vanished in the middle of the winter. "You did it all badly. You threw the water on the wrong side of the fire. The clock wasn't broken enough. You did not stand the baby on its head." She was already passing the cottage.
I can worry about having left the oven on while I'm actually in the act of turning off the oven. And if my period's late, I can simultaneously worry that I might be pregnant and worry that something's wrong and I might not ever be able to have kids.
Couldn't you have picked a better day to nearly die? As I get older, it seems not a day goes by without a baby being born, or someone I know nearly died.
Stand-up tragedy.
all the presents are arranged around the tree, and it's Christmas Day, and I am 8 years old, 8 or 9, and it's my job to go around the tree, pick up the presents, and give them out to the members of the family. That's my job. Atmosphere in that room is not very Christmassy, it's very tense. Now, when we moved to Coventry, my family split into two places. There was my dad's house in a flat, in fact, a flat which was in a very bleak area of Coventry. My mum's flat, where I spent majority of my time, was, you know, it was a suburban road. It wasn't that bad, an area, but the atmosphere inside the house was not very good. When I think of those two houses, those two places I grew up in during that time, I think of them as like the old and new cathedral, these two different extremes, these two different shades of my life. So I'm giving out the presents and I'm doing my job and I'm, haven't opened my presents yet at all. I'm waiting to do that. I'm going to give out all the presents first. And I sort of give out the presents and then my mum says, you haven't given out all the presents. I look around and there's a present just right round the back of the Christmas tree. So I sort of pull it out and it's the last present. So I look at it and it looks like it says Dave. So I open it up and it's a Mars bar. And I look down at the present I've opened and it doesn't say Dave, it says Dad. And so it was meant for my stepdad and it was it was supposed to be from my sister to my stepdad, but my mum had obviously instigated that present. My sister was 6 years younger than me, so she wasn't old enough to buy presents. And she said, you've ruined Christmas. She screamed and she slammed the door. She stomped up the stairs and I could hear every single footstep going up the stairs. My stepdad grabbed hold of my arm. He pushed me back into the Christmas tree. And I can sort of, when I think about this memory, I can still feel the needles of the Christmas tree sort of prickling my back. And he said, you've let your mother down. You've ruined this Christmas. And he hit me. And that is what Christmas means to me.
Stand-up tragedy.